How's it going today? How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing very well, very well. Thank you for asking. Could you tell the folks your name, where you're from, if you want to state your age, and a little bit something. If you could be a superhero, what powers would you have?
Okay. My name is Aniyah. Um, I'm 26 years old. I live in Newport, Rhode Island. And if there was, if I was able to have any superpower, it would probably be to, I'd either be invisible or I would either control weather.
Okay. What would you combat if you was able to combat something in this world with your superpowers?
Um, a lot of the times I try to think of things to help with like world hunger and stuff. And I feel like I actually had this discussion with my best friend, and we were like, if we could have superpowers, we should try to like pick the types of superpowers where like we can go to Africa and like just like um, uh, make plants grow and help with that, or like help with building things, or stuff like that. I would definitely try to help out the homeless and kind of be like my own type of Robin Hood.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. So could you tell the folks a little bit about your background? What's your status in life right now, and some of the hurdles that you overcame in your journey?
By my status in life, do you mean like what I'm doing behind the scenes?
Yes.
Okay. So I was gonna say something else. I was gonna say like, oh, just living. So, um, I, as of right now, am a sales associate at Sally's beauty supply store. I've been like working there. Um, a lot of the things that I have had to overcome is I have sickle cell anemia, and that is a blood abnormality. And so with my blood cells, they're shaped more as a crescent moon, or like sometimes I like to say like a toenail. And average person's blood cells are shaped like a regular circle. And so when I'm going through severe pain, like stress or sometimes cold weather or dehydration, can cause my blood to sickle, which causes them to attach onto my blood vessels, causing what's basically known as a blood clot. But because they're so crescent shaped, they actually tend to scratch and scrape the inside of my body, which causes like tremendous amounts of pain. So that's like my biggest obstacle that I've had to overcome, and it sucks and it hurts, and I do have some really bad days when I go through it, but I have amazing friends and family that help me through it, and mentally it is very tiring. Sometimes I just want to lay in my bed and just be like, you know what, forget everything. But then I end up like, no, I have this life for a reason. I'm going through this for a reason, so let me make something out of it. And I'd say another obstacle that I've overcome, or that I'm still trying to overcome, is I have a lot of anxiety and depression, especially towards like it's called like medical anxiety. So because I have a chronic illness, I tend to think that I have other things just because my body aches. And I do have a lot of things wrong with me. Like I have a heart valve disorder, I have asthma, I have chronic migraines. I also have something called a vascular neurosis, which a lot of people with sickle cell have, because it's construction of the blood vessels, which causes pain in the joints. And yeah, lately I've had to use my walker or my cane, and it sucks, but I'm fighting it.
Nice, nice. So what are some like strengths that you have that you can highlight about yourself that stand out that you notice and other people notice?
Um, a lot of people tend to say I'm an old soul and that I'm very wise. I don't know about all that, but a lot of my friends do tend to like gravitate toward me, especially in their times of need, and they're always saying that that's something that they love about me, is that I can always help them and steer them into the right directions. Also, I'd say another strength that I'm going to put myself into is that I'm a really good singer.
Oh, uh-oh.
So, no, I'm just kidding. I'd say like I'm wise and I can really sing.
So what are some hobbies that you like to do?
I love to read, write, sing. I've been um, I've been practicing how to play piano. I do know how to play like the cello too, which I love with all my heart. I do like to work out too. That's one really big one that helps like empty my mind and just be in the moment.
All right. So could you tell me a few books that you would recommend me to read, if you can think of any?
She said more than a few.
So I'm like, I love fantasy and like romance fantasy also, but I also like horror. There's this one book that's called Brother, and it's it's about like this family that's like up in the Appalachian Mountains, and people are going missing, and they ended up adopting this one boy, and he's trying to save everybody from the family that like loved him and brought him up. And I think that book is so cool because when you're reading it, you're just like, whoa, wait, what just, like, you think something's around you. I'd say probably that. Also, there's a book called Fourth Wing that I think you'd like. It is a fantasy. A lot of people don't like fantasies, but I think it just like makes your mind go like all over the place. The world building in it, you can just like, all the possibilities that you can make in your head when you're reading this book is what I loved about it. So that's like always the first book too that I would recommend everybody to read.
So my podcast and magazine is basically living off the land. It kind of highlights the resources, and it also covers resilient stories of people and their struggles, and coming out on top and things of that nature. Is there any resources in this community that you have utilized, and if not, is there any resources that you can think of that may be beneficial to this community?
So one resource that really helped me is Rhode Island Hospital, the Sickle Cell Center. They sorry, I'm having pain. They helped me with like reaching out to people who also have sickle cell and who also go through what I go through. And also having a chronic illness, I tend to struggle to be able to get out of bed and like do just any basic necessities for myself, and they tend to help you like kind of get out of that mindset. Also, they have like really good resources if you are somebody with a chronic illness that's living alone. They'll help you with like food stamps, they'll help you with housing, they'll help you with like job fairs and stuff like that. I've had a couple of friends who do have sickle cell, and they also have been like having a really hard time with finding like the right doctor for them, and their family members have like kicked them out, or they don't have anywhere to go, and they've really helped them out with that. Also, growing up as a kid, I also had like really, I had a lot of help with like a couple people from like Boys and Girls Club that would help me.
Hole in the Wall Gang Camp.
And yeah, I was about to say that. And I also went to a place called Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, which was for anybody with a chronic illness or disease. So there was like certain sessions for like people with sickle cell, people with cancer, people with like stomach stuff. And so that way you can understand that you're not alone in this world, and that there's other people that understand you too.
So what would be one most important thing, just for kids growing up that's going through it, what would be one important thing for the kids that are experiencing the sickle cell, for people to pay attention and maybe help out with?
One important thing to like help us?
Yes.
I'd say just understand that when we say that we're in pain, or we cancel plans, or we say that there's something going on, it's not that we don't want to hang out or do these things. It's the fact that we're in a lot of pain. And I'd say if you have a friend and they're out and about with you, or they're in a lot of pain and they're like, okay, can we stop, can we do this, just be considerate about it, because it hurts us that we can't keep up with you guys. And so knowing that you guys won't mind and you'll just sit with us and be like, no worries, we'll just take it as you need, that would really help. Because we're always in our head like, oh gosh, I can't do this, I can't go out tomorrow because I feel bad today, and it's really hard on us. So
Or feeling like a burden to other people.
always feeling like a burden is it sucks. So just always have an open mind when we're going through something.
So is there anything you would like to say to anybody out there that is going through what you're going through?
I just like to say, keep your head up. It's always going to be hard. There's going to be bad days, but there's going to be good days too. And always remember that you are important and your pain is valid, no matter what anybody says.
All right, I got one last question. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I see myself on a stage singing my heart out.
Do you write?
I do.
Okay,
Yes.
what's the name of your first song you wrote?
Eldest daughter.
And what is that about?
It's about me and my mom.
Okay, so maybe that'll be the next podcast, her singing us a little song. Any last words of wisdoms before we close this to give to the people, to tell about yourself that you would like people to know? Besides, watch out for you. You're coming.
I just want to say one quote that always helped me with not just my sickle cell, and also just like with who I become today, is that in a world where you can be anyone, always try to be yourself.
Nice, nice. Thank you. Appreciate it. Living off the land, folks. Another one bites the dust.